this could be extremely dangerous. Now, it's on the 91 freeway traveling westbound. We came down the 57, got on the West 91, so we traveled through Anaheim, and we're coming up on the 5 freeway interchange. So this puts us in the Fullerton area. If we continue west, we'll be into Buena Park, and if he gets on the 5 north, obviously that'll take us maybe up towards the Norwalk area. But it looks for now is continuing westbound on the 91 in the center of the freeway. And again, this vehicle came back as stolen. Right now they have a helicopter overhead. Santa Ana CHP has several patrol cars behind, and they haven't gone to a total surveillance mode. They haven't backed off completely, and this isn't the type of situation that they would probably think about trying a spike strip just because it's such a large vehicle and it's traveling at such a high rate of speed. Also, there's a lot of traffic on the freeway right now, but certainly an unusual one. We don't have all the details, except for initially it came back as stolen. And if you've covered enough of these, you know from time to time that will change. Open up a bit for me, if you would, Chad. I think this is a transition road from the 91 possibly to the 5 north. It looks like to the 5 north or south, and we'll know that in a moment. But if he goes 5 south, it'll have some challenges for us because there's a flight restriction over Disneyland up to 3,000 feet. We may get approved through there, we may not. If it continues north, we won't have a problem whatsoever. But we'll continue to follow. But, you know, at least for right now, it doesn't look like this is really any type of causing any danger to our roadways. The driver is staying in his lane, not making quick turns, and not driving at too high a rate of speed. No. No. Yeah, and, you know, depending on how much fuel that thing had, I mean, obviously they can carry a whole lot of fuel, so they can drive for a long period of time. Exactly where it was stolen from, we don't know that. You know, it looks like, I see the flashers maybe on. No, it looked like for a moment they were maybe just putting the blinker on. And can you read that? Is it U.S. Transport? Maybe once that tractor clears, you might have a better view of that than we do from up here, but it looks like it might be U.S. Fleet Transport. Yeah, no doubt about that. I've covered a few of these in the past. It was years and years ago. I covered one like this when I first started working here, and it was one of the craziest ever. It was a tractor just like this one, went onto Long Beach Airport's ground, slammed into the lake, went onto the airport, and then a man naked got out of the vehicle. So it's the kind of pursuit you never forget, right? We are, yeah. But what we're seeing, at least, you know, when we watch these pursuits, in so many instances, what we're so worried about is somebody's going to get hurt. And certainly there's a possibility that that could happen in this pursuit, but with the speeds we're seeing, with the flow or the volume of traffic that's out here, what we are seeing for the most part is a pursuit that doesn't appear to be too dangerous to other people out on the freeways. Is it there? What off-ramp? I lost John on the IP. Ah, there we go. Yeah, we're on Artesia Boulevard here. Just got off the 91 freeway, off on Artesia Boulevard at a low rate of speed. You see 2 patrol cars right behind him. There's a helicopter overhead. And in a situation like this, you just hope that this suspect gives themselves up. Originally, this came back as a stolen out of Ontario. It was on the 10 freeway, the 57, then on to the 91 freeway westbound. Then it got on the 5 north, off on Artesia Boulevard. And we're probably in that Anaheim, Buena Park area, right on the edge there. But what's encouraging, he's traveling at a low rate of speed. But as you mentioned earlier, John, when we talked, there's not a lot of options in a situation like this. They don't want to get in front of this vehicle and try and stop it. because it's so heavy and has so much power. The spike strip could be used if they could get in front of it and it continues at this rate of speed, but the pit maneuver is not an option whatsoever. You know, it is so dynamic. It is so difficult to really tell. I've seen pursuits slow down like this, come to a stop, seen somebody get out, get back in, and then take off. We've seen someone drive relatively calmly and then all of a sudden drive crazy. It's really hard to get an idea exactly what these suspects may or may not do. I want to pull out a little bit out of this shot so I get a little bit of perspective on what that truck is doing. Now we're turning into we're in an industrial area, but there could be some homes not far from here, and the suspect could pull into an area where they actually get themselves trapped, and that becomes a problem because if he turns around, trust me, the CHP officers don't want anything to do with being in front of this individual. But what you hope for is they just give themselves up. I think one encouraging thing also, besides we're off the freeway around a lot of vehicles, we're not in a residential area. He's driving slower and slower. I say he. We don't know if it's a man or a woman in this situation. They haven't confirmed that. But this individual, this suspect, seems to be really slowing down, and hopefully that just means they're in the process of trying to make up their mind to give themselves up. Now, does he know these people? Because that's happened a lot in the past, too. They'll get on the phone, they'll talk to somebody, you know, maybe somebody with mental health issues. They're talking to someone, they're saying, hey, stop. But what we saw right there really appeared to me like they knew those individuals. They drove to this spot right here on purpose and stopped. We couldn't know that for sure, but it sure did look that way. Yeah. Yeah, so it's so difficult to try and determine exactly what is going on. He could have stopped here randomly, but initially when he came around the corner, it looked like those individuals in front of the camper were actually waiting for that person. You see the CHP officers gone around the camper trying to get everybody out of harm's way. Should this develop into some sort of the vehicle getting out of control or even, God forbid, shots being fired, they want to get everyone out of harm's way. Why that truck driver, why the suspect stopped there is still unclear, but it originally slowed down, saw the people on the shoulder, and it almost appeared like maybe he may have known someone there, or the suspect may have known someone there, but we certainly don't know that for sure yet. But we will. If this guy walks around the corner and the CHP lets him and he starts to communicate, that could give us some idea that they may know who the driver is. There we go. They're getting out. Now, this is a dicey situation right here. Open up a little bit more if you would, Chad. And if we can, let's go to this way so we can get a better look. But, you know, these are really scary situations like this because it's live. And, you know, if you got little ones that are watching, you really have to maybe turn them away from this because if that suspect makes a move for a weapon or doesn't obey the officers, there's a possibility they could open fire on that individual. But it looks like the suspect's come to his senses, backing up towards the officers. More than likely going to be face down on the pavement here in a moment. CHP is going to want to make certain that they clear that vehicle but before they rush in too much, so you'll see them come up behind them. We didn't see anybody else in there. They had a better look. You know, because it wasn't a high-speed chase, they were able to get around that semi and really peek inside fairly well to see if there was anybody else inside it, but they couldn't make that determination for certain because it's so much higher than their patrol cars. But it does appear that the suspect is cooperating. I would imagine any moment he'll be face down and he'll be in custody. It did. You know, there was a lot of glare, so we couldn't tell for certain, but we did not see anyone else inside there, so we believe it's just the suspect. And there they go. They're going to take him into custody. They're always concerned about the semi, though. They're always getting him flat down, face down, on the ground in almost all cases. They did have him pull up his shirt so they could tell that it didn't have a weapon in the waistband. But they do still have to be concerned that someone could be inside the cab of that truck. Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like without incident, we don't think this truck hit anybody. We don't think anybody was hurt. So, as far as that's concerned, as far as the pursuit is concerned, when it ends without incident, nobody's hurt. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. What do you got? All right. We'll throw it in there. Hopefully it's not in the TFR, although we can probably get above 3 today. All right. That will be a well. Let me see where it is. Can you put the dot? Oh yeah, we're gonna have to climb to 3,000. Oh wait. Yeah, we can get it from the freeway. Let's go due east on the 91. Yeah, we're clear from this. Yeah.